Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Alyssa Marie and I post videos on nursing school, beauty, and lifestyle. So in today's video, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about starting nursing school, specifically during a pandemic, because it has shaken things up for me, to say the least. So I kind of wanted to go over a couple of things as far as starting nursing school during this whole COVID-19 and share with you guys how I'm feeling, because nursing school starts tomorrow. And I'm kind of excited, I'm kind of freaking out, and I'm kind of already overwhelmed. So if you're interested in finding out how my school is dealing with nursing school during a pandemic, then just keep watching. Okay, so where do I start? So if you guys watched my first video that I uploaded this year, it was a video of me basically saying that I got accepted into nursing program, specifically the Accelerated Bachelor's in Nursing program. That was a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, and we are finally here. Nursing school starts tomorrow. Today is Sunday, May 10th. Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day, belated Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Tomorrow is Monday, May 11th, and that is the start of nursing school. Like I said before, I'm super excited, kind of nervous, already overwhelmed, and kind of bummed out, to be honest. So when I got accepted into nursing school, I'm pretty sure COVID-19 was something that was already being talked about, but it wasn't at the point where it is right now, where schools had to shut down, everybody's in quarantine. But I'm thankful that my school is still doing the nursing program. I don't know if there's any schools out there that canceled their nursing program or if they pushed back admissions, but I'm thankful that my school did it, but it has changed the way the nursing program is set up. So for me specifically, I don't know about everybody else, but for me specifically, everything is going to be virtual, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of across the board for all colleges. But it's weird because nursing school is not really meant for virtual. I mean, I don't really know, because I know there's programs out there that do virtual schooling, but as somebody who's not an RN already, I don't know how it's going to go. We had orientation last week. They kind of went over how it's going to be, what to expect. But then again, this is the first time that my school and this specific program has done anything virtual like this. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of in the air at this point. Everybody's trying to figure out how to do things, how we're going to do clinicals, how we're going to do lab, what's the classroom going to look like, how are we supposed to act. I don't know. It's just a lot of confusion at this time. So it's a little overwhelming, but it's also exciting because this is it. I'm finally starting. 16 months from now, I will have my BSN and I will be able to start my nursing career and eventually go on to be a nurse practitioner. So I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about what has been said so far as how the nursing program is going to start, since we are still in quarantine and since we need to remain home, how labs are going to function, how clinicals are going to function, and everything that goes into all of that, everything that has to do with starting nursing school. So my first semester is going to be pretty hectic. It's a summer semester. We start the Accelerated Bachelor's in Nursing program at my school starts always in the summer semester. So there's only one acceptance session each year. So you get accepted. There's only one, I guess, cohort per year or whatever. I don't know. So yeah. So the first semester starts tomorrow, May 11th, and it ends June 21st, I want to say. Not really sure, but somewhere at the end of June, and I am taking 15 credits. So the classes that I will be taking are health assessment lab, pathophysiology for nurses, essentials of nursing practice, essentials of nursing lab, and Essentials of Nursing Practice Clinical, Health Promotion Across the Lifespan, and Health Promotion Across the Lifespan Clinical. Now, Health Assessment, Pathophysiology, and Essentials of Nursing, I kind of know what those are going to be about. Health Assessment, obviously like assessing patients, Pathophysiology, the study of diseases, and Essentials in Nursing Practice. I think that's also, people call that fundamentals of nursing. So it's kind of like the basis of what like it's building on each other, like the foundations of what nurses do. The health promotion across the lifespan, I don't really know what that's going to be about. Some of the way these classes are titled, it's kind of hard to understand what they're going to be about. Some programs I know like do pediatrics, geriatrics, and stuff like that, or OB, but these are not titled like that. Like, I don't know which one is pediatrics, I don't know which one is OB, I don't know which one is geriatrics. There's public and community health, I know what that's going to be about, obviously. There's psych, but I don't know which one is which as far as like the specifics. I don't really know what that one's going to be about, but I guess that's something that we're going to learn. So I had orientation last week on Thursday, and it was 3 hours. It was pretty long. And they basically went over the professors, who's going to be teaching what kind of to expect, but not really. So for our classes, so I have 2 classes on Monday, 2 labs on Tuesday, 2 classes on Wednesday, and clinicals on Thursday and Friday. We were supposed to. But since we're in quarantine during this pandemic, we're not going to be going out to any clinical sites. We will not be going out to school. We will not be going into any lab. Everything is going to be done virtually. How? I'm not really sure. But during orientation, so classes are going to be held on a Zoom meeting, as well as the labs. So anything that's like an in-class type of deal, those are going to be held on Zoom. The labs will be on Zoom. I'm not really sure about the clinicals. So there's 2 softwares that they had us purchase for clinicals. One is called Shadow. I don't really know what the other one is called, but it's basically a virtual way for clinicals to take place. I don't really know. We have 2 Zoom meetings scheduled for Thursday and Friday to go over what the clinical aspect of this program is going to look like. It's kind of nerve-wracking because I don't know what to expect. I don't know these systems. I've never used any of these software products, so we'll see what that's about. As far as the Zoom meetings for class, I've done online classes before, but nothing that I usually do easy online classes. So like if it's like a psychology class, or if it's something that's a little bit more easier, I'll do online, so it's not that much of an issue. Like medical terminology I took online. But to start nursing school off in a virtual setting, it's kind of uneasy just because I don't know the material and I don't really know. I don't know. I just don't really know how it's going to be for me. So I guess that's something that I'm kind of a little bit anxious about, but I'm also still excited to start. For my cohort, there are 70 students in our program. We've already started a Facebook page, so there's like a lot of support on there. If anybody has questions, there's like a lot of students that will chime in or comment. We've also started a GroupMe chat, so that way it's a little bit easier. So like if somebody has a question, they can just ask it there, and instead of making a post, they could just, it's like a big group chat with everybody that's in the cohort. So that's also nice because if I have a question, then I can ask on there and I can usually get a pretty fast answer. As far as how everything has been leading up to starting nursing school tomorrow, it's been okay. There have been a couple of bumps in the road, to say the least. For example, because of COVID and we're not allowed to, because of quarantine and social distancing, we had orientation online, but we're usually supposed to have orientation at the school there was supposed to be lunch and all this stuff. And that was the time that we would have been able to try on our uniforms to order the right sizes and pick them up. But because that has not taken place, we kind of had to order based on what we thought our sizes would be. So I ended up buying scrubs and they did not fit. So I actually had to return them. And that process was kind of just, it wasn't the easiest process. It wasn't the most organized process. There was lack of communication between the schools and the scrub vendor, and then the scrub vendor and the students. It was just kind of chaos. So I'm still waiting on my scrubs for that. Another thing that happened was ordering books online. I had purchased an access code for a specific program that the nursing program wanted. It was an access code for Essentials of Nursing Clinical. I bought the correct access code, and the school ended up sending me the incorrect access code, so I wasn't able to look at the videos that were required for tomorrow. Still not resolved, but the customer service rep was super nice. He ended up giving me a temporary access code so that way I don't miss out on any videos or materials that I need to go over before class tomorrow. But it's still annoying knowing that you pay $160 for something and you don't get the correct thing. And it's just frustrating. Like, the last thing that you want to have before starting nursing school is to have any mishaps, because it's an extra stress that you don't need. So that also, and I'm not the only person that happened to, and that's why I'm grateful for the group me, because a lot of students that happened to. So now other students who haven't purchased their access code just yet are able to know not to purchase from the bookstore and to get it directly from the website, so that way they don't have that issue. So those are a couple of things that are kind of annoying and have kind of made me uneasy as far as starting the nursing program, but it's okay. It'll get resolved eventually. I'll eventually get my scrubs and I'll eventually get the correct access code. It's just a matter of time, and it's not in my hands, and I think that's what stresses me out. But whatever. Another thing that's kind of uneasy is, so for this program, I am using loans to pay for it. The first semester, I think the total as far as tuition, I think it's $3,000, and for the loans that I've already accepted, it only covers half of that. So I kind of have to dip into my savings, which is also another thing that I'm worried about, because I kind of wanted to save that money for paying bills, because I'm not going to be working really during this whole program, and the program is 16 months. But I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It's just like one thing after another, and it's kind of just frustrating. Even starting the program before, like, it's expensive to start up. Like, you have to pay for the background check, which is like $85, and I accidentally paid it twice because I bought the wrong one. So that's $160. The scrubs were $200. I'm pretty sure I spent over $400 in just books for the first semester. You have to buy your stethoscope, you have to buy your shoes, there's so many things that go into it that you don't even realize, and it's so expensive, and I've been paying out of pocket for it. So I'm pretty sure I've spent well over $1,500 so far. So that's another thing that's kind of weighing down on me, but I guess everybody goes through that unless you're like rich and don't have to worry about money. But I don't know, I don't think everybody is like that, but whatever. If you are, congratulations, you're lucky. Yeah. So as far as how I'm prepping for the first day of school, so like I said last week, we did our orientation and received all of our syllabi for each class, which was kind of overwhelming because they sent out an email to everybody with all of the syllabi in the attachment, and it was kind of stressful going through each syllabus, making sure you have the correct book, making sure you download the correct software, inputting the correct access code, assigning yourself to the correct professor, because there's multiple professors that teach the same class. And it's just kind of overwhelming when you have to do that 8 times for the 4 classes that I'm taking, the 2 labs and the 2 clinicals. And then again, you don't really know what you're signing up for. I've never used any of these softwares, so it's kind of like, uneasy just because you don't really know how to maneuver the website. And from the past, I've learned that I've had made mistakes. I've had to pay double for mistakes that I've made. So that's just another thing. I was up until like 3 a.m. making sure that I had all the correct books. If I didn't have them on hand, that they were in my cart from Chegg. If you guys didn't watch my last video before, I mentioned that Chegg.com is one of the best places to rent books from. Super reliable. I really love using Chegg. So if I didn't have the books on hand, I had them either in my Chegg cart, or if Chegg didn't have it, which is highly unlikely, then it was in my Amazon cart. And if that wasn't it, then I don't know. But I think I got all the books. I think I'm just waiting on one more book for one of my classes. But that's another thing, just making sure you have all the materials that you need to start school. And then all of the chapters that you have to read. So during orientation, we had some of the accelerated nursing students that are about to graduate or that have already graduated. I'm not sure if they graduated or if they're about to graduate, but some of them had mentioned, like, don't start reading before class. There's no point. You're just going to get frustrated. You're going to get anxious because of how much material is in it. Just wait till you review the PowerPoint and they'll tell you what to focus on. And then we have the professors that are like, make sure you read the chapters before coming to class, so that way you have a good idea of what's going on. And like, it's just kind of conflicting information. And then again, each student is different. And that's something that I have an issue with myself. Sometimes I try to read before class and it's just like stressing me out just because it's so much information. I don't know what they want me to know. And then sometimes I'm in class and I don't read the information and then I really don't know what's going on in class. So it's kind of, I have to find a balance. And I'm going to work on that this semester so that way I know exactly how I function best. But I think that's something that'll come with in time. We received a dosage calculation manual to start studying on, and we received this, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. So in my program, I don't know if it's because it's accelerated or what, but in the beginning of the program, there is a test that you can take to test out of taking the dosage calculations class. If you do not get 100 on the test, then you have to take the class, and it's another added credit that you have on your semester. And if you do, which is, I mean, it's already a big workload to add another class, but if you do test out of it, you don't have to take that class, and you're straight. So that's another thing that's kind of not been stressful because the material that's on it, it's not too bad. I've taken chemistry before, which is basically a lot of conversions, and that's basically what I feel like dosage calculations are. It's basically all conversions, knowing how to read the label, make sure you're converting to the correct dosage. So that for me is not that hard. There are a few formulas that I have to remember, like drip rate, infusion rate, and something else. But I've been studying them. I have my flashcards over there. And then like also the measurements. So like the conversion measurements. So that's something that I've also been studying, just all of that, just to make sure that I test out of that class, because I do not want to take an added class onto already 15 credits of a nursing program in the summer while in quarantine. So that's one thing that's also a little bit stressful, but I'm trying not to psych myself out just because it does no good. There's no point in psyching yourself out. I'll come out on the end. I'll be okay. I think so. I hope so, at least. But what else? I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about. But yeah, I already talked about my classes, everything that's happened thus far, and just how I'm feeling about starting nursing school. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but my program is 16 months, so it's 4 semesters. It always starts in the summer, so it's summer, fall, spring, summer. So in 16 months, I will basically have my BSN, and I'll go out to start my career and hopefully start NP school, because that's my major goal. That's my final goal. That's what I want to do. So, yeah. if you guys are starting nursing school during this pandemic, let me know how it is for you guys, how it is as far as doing online courses, how it is doing clinicals online. I think for the labs, I don't really know. We haven't gone over the labs yet. I think we're going to have a Zoom meeting as far as how the lab portion of this program is going to work while we're in quarantine. So far from what I can understand, we're basically going to have to record ourselves doing whatever it is that we're learning that week. So this week on Tuesday, we have hand hygiene and PPE, personal protective equipment. So I basically have to watch videos on how to properly perform those two things. And then we have to record ourselves and submit it to the professor, and she will grade us on how she does it, on how we do it. And then for clinicals, I don't even know. I don't know if it's going to be a Zoom meeting or if we're just going to be assigned patients on the virtual app. I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to work. Maybe I'll let you guys know. Yeah, I'll probably do a video next week on how my first week of nursing school went during a pandemic. So that way you guys can see what it's like. Hopefully this doesn't last that long. I don't know if this is going to be for the whole semester. The dean basically just stated they're playing it by ear because we don't really know what's going to happen. I live in Florida, and today's May 10th, and we're slowly starting to reopen. So I know tomorrow, May 11th, they're going to start opening like barber shops and nail salons. Some restaurants are already open, just at 25% capacity. And they could be outside seating as long as everybody's 6 feet apart. But I don't really know. I hope it's not like this for the rest of the semester. They said it could be, but they also said if we do start opening up and they release the restrictions, then we would most likely transition into out of online into in-person, in lab, and in clinical, actual clinicals. So I really hope and pray that that's something that is going to happen this semester. If it doesn't, oh well, but it kind of sucks because that's really, I feel like that's the most exciting part, is doing the lab part and the simulations and the clinicals, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, if you guys want to find out how my first week of nursing school went, then stay tuned for a video next week, and I will talk to you guys then.